Okay, let's unpack this. This deep dive is, I have to say, one of the strangest source stacks we have ever received.
It is wild. I mean, we are threading a needle through totally different worlds here, from the surprising economics of high-end escorting to behavioral genetics.
And then detailed dating psychology, and even high-level financial fraud.
It's all in there.
I mean, we're talking about articles that mention major histocompatibility complex genes, like in the same breath as investment bankers shorting the housing markets.
Yeah.
So what is the through line? What's the core mission?
Well, the mission is really to uncover the non-obvious factors that determine perceived worth and stability in your life.
Okay, worth and stability.
Exactly. And that worth could be measured in romance, self-respect, your health, or even market success. Across all these fields that seem unrelated, our sources all point to these hidden mechanics of how value is created and how it's maintained.
So it's about understanding the kind of the algorithms that are running beneath the surface, driving success and attraction.
That's it. The stuff happening well beneath what we normally see.
All right, let's start exactly where the sources do, with the dynamics of high-end escorting. Because it gives you this really raw capitalist look at what men with immense resources are actually willing to pay a premium for.
Right.
We assume that a high rate, say $2,000 an hour, is purely for beauty. But the sources reveal that as a very incomplete picture.
Oh, completely. For wealthy men, access to physical appeal it's cheap, it's abundant. Their primary motivation for paying that kind of extraordinary rate is not physical at all.
It's emotional.
It's emotional security and reliability. Their biggest, most existential fear is that the provider will ruin their carefully constructed life.
Their reputation, their business, their marriage.
Everything. So that $2,000, it's not really a fee for service.
It's more like an insurance premium against drama.
Exactly. The value is tied entirely to peace of mind. The professional's job is to guarantee zero future liability.
Meaning you show up how?
You show up emotionally clear, you're well-rested, discreet, and deeply respectful of the client's time and boundaries. It allows the man to just relax, to feel wanted in his masculine energy, which is something he might not have felt in years at home.
So the lesson for you, the listener, is that in any relationship, personal or business, that reliability, that preparation, emotional clarity, those are really high-value commodities.
For sure, and if that's the premium people will pay to get value, let's look at how people maintain their own self-worth.
By setting boundaries. There's that one story in the source material about turning down an offer of, $10,000 a month for exclusivity?
Yeah, from a man worth $70 million, and the reason for turning it down was that it felt insulting, stingy even, so they walked away.
And that decision is crucial, isn't it? It teaches other people what your self-worth is.
It's everything. If you say yes to something that undervalues you, you're signaling that your floor is low. You're essentially telling that man, I accept low effort and low investment.
And if they had accepted it, that expectation would have been set. And you'd end up in that awful scenario where years later you get a cheap blender from the clearance aisle for your birthday.
Because they believe that's all you require. Saying no protects your value. It earns respect in the long run.
This brings us directly to a really painful dynamic covered in the sources. The nice guy problem. The sources explain how men who are dependable and trying to do the right thing often unintentionally teach their partners they can be neglected without any consequence.
It's this devastating behavioral reinforcement loop that just creates so much deep resentment. The nice guy keeps providing resources.
Paying the bills, doing the chores, being the good husband.
All of that, even when there's zero affection.